Manu, I would request your answer for this. Why do you think the RWA waited for this, as you're saying, that they waited for three and a half or roughly 4 odd years? Why do you think that they waited if they are in the wrong?
See, that they are to answer. I cannot answer because that is the delay on their part. Had there been any this thing, serious concern, they should have. But what I have come to know, even the super tech people, they have been engaged with them for unlawful means, that some association members, some leaders, they wanted to have some money or something like that from those people. That has also come on record. It is there. They have charged also. Some people have gone and they have taken money also, that we will file suit against you and all. They try to blackmail them. That is also there.
We are trying to get in touch with the representatives of the RWs also, and let us see if we can get across. But till that time, Satya Prakash, what do you make of the defense that has been given by Mr. Sharma, that bylaws were changed every time in under one set of existing bylaws? When you seek approval, then suddenly the bylaws change. Then can you be held responsible for having not proceeded according to the new bylaws?
Well, I didn't have the benefit of going through the Allahabad High Court verdict. That is a detailed verdict. The Supreme Court's order is an interim order. But without having gone through the judgment, I can tell you that if the High Court has applied its judicial mind to the entire issue, after having heard all the parties, they have come to a conclusion. I would rather go with the High Court verdict than with this interim order, which is, in any case, it's an interim order, and the Supreme Court will hear it and then give its verdict. But so far as this particular controversy is concerned, and this at various stages, different kinds of sanctions taken, and then everything, I'm told it was, this land was supposed to be a green area, a park. That is what was told to the previous buyers, these RWA people. Then they sought permission for no objection from these guys, like, let's construct a small single story something, or 2-story. They said, okay, you can do it. But then thereafter they got permission from Noida Authority, and I don't know how they got it, for 24 story or 26 story, and then it went up to 40. That is when they got alarmed, then they approached the Allahabad High Court. I'm not privy to what happened, and I would not go by what Mr. Sharma has alleged, that some people, RWA people, were demanding blackmailing. Blackmailing presupposes some unlawful act on the part of the builder. If you say that somebody was trying to blackmail Supertech, it means you are saying that Supertech was doing something wrong. So is he admitting that? So in the absence of all such things, or because we are not clear about the facts, how the Noida Authority gave all these sanctions. But what I am emphasizing is that the way builders operate, the way, the kind of nexus the builders and the development authorities they have, it is not just this case. We have seen in the case of land allotment cases in the entire region, in the entire area, how urgency clause was used of the Land Acquisition Act, and land was acquired from some for industrial purpose or some other purposes, and then the land use was changed and given to builders. We are all aware how the Noida Authority functions, and that is how our Greater Noida Authority, and that is how we cannot give a clean chit at this stage to either to Noida Authority or to the builders. We have to go by the High Court order, because that's the order as of now.
All right. Harmit, between Supertech and Campacola, the Mumbai case, there are a lot of differences in terms of the specifics, but broadly speaking, if you look at the case, the problem seems to be the same. The malaise, rather, it seems to be the same, that a certain builder takes a permission for construction of a certain building or a couple of buildings in a particular area, takes permission for a certain number of floors, eventually later goes on adding up the number of floors without having taken the permission for it, in the assumption that probably later they will be able to regularize it or grease the palms of regulatory officials and just get away with it somehow. While the Supertech case, the demolition has been stayed for the towers. Something similar has not happened in the case of the Campacola Society, and in the recent Supreme Court observation yesterday, the residents have been asked to vacate by May 31st, following which the demolition is most certain to take place. How are you looking at, what is your understanding of the Campacola Society? Am I right in understanding that broadly the malaise seems to be the same, although the specifics are very different?
See, I'll not be able to get very specific on the Campacola, though I'm fully aware of what's happened over there. And if we touch upon the larger malaise in the system of illegalities in terms of constructions and all, I can probably put it in a very different, in a very clear perspective as I feel. The issue of proprietary cannot, I mean, if you purely take it from a question of law, fair enough. We can always talk about bylaws and, you know, laws being enacted. The question is whether these laws are in conjunction for the larger good of the development, or is it a question of proprietary? Is there a collusion for a benefit or benefit to ABCD? So are these policies being framed from a larger policy perspective, or these are policies specific to, so where the question of proprietary comes in? So I think by and large, and if we get into the micro of the whole situation, the point is once a project gets a traction, or you know that there is a certain traction that the project will come, and considering the ills today that real estate is going in terms of, you know, funding, slow sales, if a project catches traction, there is a probability at the end of the developer that you can, within the same project, if you get 10 more floors, you're getting more inventory to sell. And you've already reached a certain level of profitability having sold a certain amount of stock. So whatever stock comes in new is like an add-on. It's a clean profit coming to you. So one has to look at the, you know, the collusion from that perspective. And then most of the policies that we see today have so many lacunas that it's very convenient to go back and kind of plug these lacunas at a hindsight. And that's how I think it abates a lot of illegal construction, because there are policy lacunas. If the policies were transparent, why would there be a change in policy every second year? Policy has to be something where you're taking, whether it be real estate, telecom, anything. The policy is never made for 1 year or 2 years. The policy has a longevity. You look at a 10-year horizon. So, you know, the policy maker has to kind of look at, you know, whatever bylaws are coming in, not from